Bama's first practice is under their belt, under Coach Kalen DeBoer. Who's QB1? Well, we're going to talk about that. The fourth quarter program, which Nick Saban brought in after Alabama kept losing all of those close games under Mike Shula, is it staying or is it going? Yeah, we're going to get into that as well. The tough loss to Tennessee on Saturday. Is it doomsday for Alabama, or do they still have a shot to win the SEC? Yeah, they do. We're going to give you the scenario. And Chris Morton, with ties to Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama, the great NFL commentator, passed away. And we're going to reflect on him and his career and what he meant to football as well on the show. Welcome to the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Let's get this thing going. Roll Tide, everybody. Let's talk some Alabama football. From the top, there he is, Big Elmo himself from WJLX in Jasper, Mr. Brett Elmore at Brett Elmore Show, which airs every morning in Jasper. If you like 80s rock and you like good humor, check him out. I'm at Broadcaster Mick, and Roll Tide, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. What's up, Brett?
I don't know about good humor, but we try in the mornings. I appreciate you joining me yesterday morning as well. It's a lot of fun to have Mick on. But Roll Tide, man, it's like Christmas almost yesterday. The sun finally peaked out here in north central Alabama, and the Tide hit the practice field, man.
Yeah, it was great, man. And look, I enjoyed doing your show. I plan on coming on and doing it a lot more. I just loved getting on there and yelling, good morning, Walker County. So we'll do that again soon. All right, well, let's get right into it because Bama fans are wondering exactly what's going on right now. And we're going to start with this. Kalen DeBoer, after practice, being asked about QB1, which is honestly an important question to ask because everyone wants to know if Alabama is going to have a quarterback, not controversy, but competition.
You talk about depth chart and different stuff. Obviously, I'm not asking for a depth chart, but you have players. I mean, you sat next to Jalen Milroe at the basketball game. Is that your guy going into it, or do you clean slate every year with every position?
Yeah, I mean, you want competition, right? And so the competition is always going to be there. And yeah, someone had to take the first reps today, with the ones when we lined up and we referred to him as that, and Jalen did, so. He's putting everything into it he can, along with the other guys that took those first reps. But I fully expect those guys that are really hungry to be pushing those guys that are ahead of them to be their best, and that's what you want in a football program. And that's certainly going to be the case here with so many good football players here wanting to get on the football field.
All right, Brett, there you have it. Okay, so Kalen DeBoer basically being a coach, giving us coach talk, but that Milroe is QB1. He took the reps, and it was almost like he was challenging the rest of the guys to compete with Milroe for that spot because he thinks it's important that they challenge him.
Yes, and it's something we've talked about. Maybe he's watched the show. I don't know. It's something we've talked about at every position. There's going to be competition at every position. And he was asked that. Said, well, he was asked, hey, did you put in those words before practice? Everyone has a clean slate. Everyone's competing for a position. And he said, no, not in those words, but it's kind of understood. So, yeah, Milroe's the number one guy right now. It's his job to lose. But what he's talking about is it's going to create a lot of competition there and everyone moving up to that next level. And that'll happen at every position.
Yeah. And that's what you want. Look, I really firmly believe that this is Jalen Milroe's job. I think he won it outright last year. He has the game experience at Alabama. He's won some big games, including the Georgia game. Can he improve? He certainly can, but he's also picked to be a Heisman contender. He has amazing athletic ability, and I'm not ready to throw that aside in any means. I think that the guy really brings a lot to the table, and it's a great benchmark for Alabama's quarterbacks to try to catch up with him. And from his work ethic and what everyone tells me, he's not going to get outworked, and I think that's a good thing for Alabama. All right, let's go back to the press conference yesterday. And again, it's Coach DeBoer, and he's being asked about the fourth quarter program. And if you guys remember, the fourth quarter program was created when Nick Saban took over. Guys like me would go watch Alabama play, and they would have the lead in the fourth quarter, and they would lose to Tennessee, lose to LSU, lose to Auburn. We couldn't beat our rivals. We couldn't win in the fourth quarter. And then Nick Saban came, and we got really mean and tough in the weight room, and these guys worked extra hard, not only at practice, but before practice, in the mornings and in the afternoons. Really changed the culture of Alabama. Is the fourth quarter program something that is going to stick around, or is Kalen DeBoer okay moving it out?
Hey, Coach. I wanted to go back a little bit and ask you about the fourth quarter program. Just what were your impressions of that, and maybe did you add any wrinkles or tweak that at all?
No, we kept it pretty consistent with what it's been, and the guys, you can tell it's something that they really feel strong about. The energy just is there, from the beginning to the end. And I think the key is taking that in the workouts when we're in the early winter months here, and transferring that over to football. And that was the challenge today. We have a period at the end where we gather and we've referred to it. I've done this many years now. Refer to it as also the finish or fourth quarter period. And being able to connect to what they just did the last few weeks with the fourth quarter program. It's transferring it from the indoor and the workouts that they're doing onto the football field. I think that excites them. And there's been a lot of football games won because of the work that's been put in because of that program, and they believe in it. And it's going to be important for us this fall for sure.
All right, there you go, Brett. He says we're keeping it. It sounded to me like he was very complimentary of what it means to the football program, and I think that's a smart move.
I do too. Look, this is Coach DeBoer's program now, and obviously he's going to have his thumbprint on everything. But he's also smart enough to know that you're following Coach Nick Saban. Mm-hmm. And some of the things that he implemented, you want to keep around, obviously. And what I liked about what he said was the players were passionate about that fourth quarter program because it makes them it makes them better. And yeah, he's going to keep it around, and he needs to. It's a smart move, and like I say, it's his program, but you're going to see a lot of things probably stay the same because what's that old saying, Mick? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, right. And all he needs to do is just pick up the baton from Saban and run with it. And obviously he's going to have his own style of doing things, but very smart move to embrace the fourth quarter program, what it means to the players, and hopefully that continues to be a passion for Alabama football moving forward. Now, you can't mention the fourth quarter program without Scott Cochran, who right now isn't working. It would be nice to have him back. I don't know if they need any help, but you know what? Bring him on back to help him run that. Love that. All right, one program that took a real big hit on Saturday, a tough loss to Tennessee at home. Everyone was watching. ESPN's Game Day show was there. If Alabama won at home, they had a long winning streak, they would have been in the driver's seat to win the SEC. They lost the game. They didn't play their best. 2 games left. At Florida, home against Arkansas. Tennessee has a game against Kentucky. Then they go to South Carolina. No gimmies there.
No.
Give me a scenario where Alabama pulls this off.
All right, let's keep it simple. For them to be the sole winner of the conference, got to win. I mean, you got to win the games. and then Tennessee has to lose to South Carolina and Kentucky. Now, whether that's going to happen or not, probably unlikely.
Well, South Carolina's already beaten them.
Yeah.
And Kentucky owes them.
Yeah. So, that's got to happen. Okay. Otherwise, if Tennessee wins either of its remaining games, either one, it doesn't matter. We could only get a share of the title. Now, to share the title, Alabama's going to have to win both games. And Tennessee's going to have to lose one game. And if Alabama wins one game, Tennessee loses both games, and South Carolina loses Mississippi State. Kind of confusing. But still, there's a chance. And then there could be a 5-way tie for the regular season championship.
Really?
Yeah, it is legitimately, it's possible. Not probable, but possible. Tennessee, South Carolina, Alabama, Auburn, and Kentucky could win this and tie. Tennessee has got to lose to Kentucky and South Carolina. Bama beats either Florida or Arkansas. South Carolina loses to State. Auburn wins out, and Kentucky wins out. They all finish 13-5, and it'll create mass chaos, which I love.
Yeah, you love chaos.
Yeah. But, there's still a chance. Is it likely? Probably not, but still, like the saying of the movie goes, oh, you're saying there's still a chance.
Yeah, there's still a chance. It was Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber. There you go.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking
remember
for.
that. Well, look, I don't think it's that much of a stretch. I mean, they're going to have to go beat Florida on the road, which is going to be tough after the way that Florida played Alabama and Tuscaloosa. But you just got to take care of your business and then see if you can get a little help from Kentucky. If Kentucky shoots like they did against Alabama, they're going to win. Okay.
Yeah,
but we'll find out. If not, I mean, an SEC regular season championship would have been great. But what people really want is an Alabama tournament run.
Yeah.
And so that is still to be determined. And I feel like if Alabama shoots the ball the way that they're capable of, they're a dangerous team for anyone to deal with in the tournament. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. All right, final thing on the show today. Chris Morton passes away. You know him from, NFL coverage for years. Mort was, I really feel like one of the greats in the business, always had his finger on the pulse of what was going on. He was a total professional, one of my all-time favorites in covering NFL football. You could tell that he was dealing with some health issues, but he still showed up and worked. And his son, Alex, was a member of Saban's coaching staff. We just really, both of us, Brett, feel for the Mortensen family, and we're going to miss Chris.
Yeah, back in 2016, he was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer, and that's a tough thing. But yeah, you're talking about a professional, someone I enjoyed, watching him cover the pros, and he was 72. But yeah, his son Alex, our thoughts and prayers with the family. His son Alex is currently the offensive coordinator at UAB.
Wow.
But of course, he, like you mentioned, he worked under Saban for 9 years as a grad assistant. Then he moved up to an analyst and was part of 3 national championships there at Alabama. So there's a tie in there. And but yeah, for our thoughts and prayers are with that family.
Brett, you had lunch today, and you had a person that hangs out with us here on the channel swing by and give you a shout out. Who was that, and how did that go down?
It's odd. In Jasper, I normally get stopped about radio, and my radio career. I've been here for a long time, but this has happened to me twice with 2 different people that watch the Tailgate show.
Love you guys. Love you guys.
So a shout out to Roger Miller, who I talked to yesterday.
All right, Roger Miller, man, roll tide to you and roll tide to all of you guys that hang out with us. Make sure that you like and subscribe. You share with your friends. Help us build this channel. And we appreciate all you guys for hanging out with us. Don't forget that we're brought to you today by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. You talk about a concert rundown. You talk about a roster of big events that are coming to Pearl River to celebrate 30 years of the casino in Choctaw, Mississippi. And you're talking about the Wallflowers, Kool and the Gang, Brian McKnight. You're talking about Lone Star, Big and Rich, Boys to Men. Boom. That is a list of right there of some great entertainment.
Gretchen Wilson, man, coming with Big and Rich.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But find out for yourself. They've got Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. It's the Augusta that you can play. Great golf course, one of the best in the entire South. You've got table games. You got the slots. You got Timeout Sports Lounge, which is a Vegas-style casino sports book where you can gamble legally right there in Mississippi. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa. So it's far enough where you feel like you're away, but not so far that you can't get home, right? 2 hours from Birmingham. And, Brett, it's not far from you either, but that's what I love about it.
I'm going to start gambling legally, going to Mississippi.
Yeah, well, you guys – what's that?
But I was also going to tell you, the 4th of July weekend, like the 4th falls on like a Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and then Friday they have Boys to Men. Then the next night they have Big and Rich.
Oh, it's going to be great, man.
Oh, it's cool.
We'll be there. We're going to be there. We'll probably do some shows live from there as well early so that we can have fun late. So
That sounds good.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun in July. But check them out, Pearl River Resort. And thank you guys for hanging out with us. Roll Tide. We'll talk to you again tomorrow right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel.